allowed that thing to be there. So you don't joke with that thing. Intimacy between man. Now, in relation to marriage, when you are sleeping with a woman who is not your wife, you are destroying your marriage. Ndio maana Paulo akasema ndoa na iheshimiwe, and the bed should be kept clean. Marriage should be respected and the bed should be kept clean. When you sleep with a woman who is not yours, you have defiled your marriage and your bed. Now, when your marriage is defiled physically, then spiritually you cannot control anything. The first place where men lose relationship with God, it begins with the issues of marriage. Many initiations of witchcraft, it is done through marriage, especially through sex. Now, when I relate this with marriage, when you want to get married, I suggest people, I'm not against marrying from any other tribe. I'm not against that one. But as a means of God has been revealing a lot of things to me. Before you get married, many people are being taken through counseling. They're told a man is supposed to stay with a woman like this, a man is supposed to do like this, a man is supposed to do like this, a man is supposed to do like, a woman is supposed to do like this. But the truth is that counseling cannot help if you cannot deal with the issue of bloodline and foundation. Number two, if you cannot deal with the issue of sexual perversion. Before you get married, you are supposed to go you are supposed to study the background of the woman whom you're getting married to. Visit her family members, research. Do marriage stand? Do they give birth? Do they have wealth? Do they worship God? From that point, then examine the wife, the woman. How many men have you slept with? If she cannot confess, because I'll be sharing you the healing of marriage. An advanced step of healing is confession, whereby I confess I have slept with several this and this and this and this and this. So after confession, it is step one of winning the devil. Whereby if you enter in this marriage, the devil has nothing to claim, because already the Bible said the devil is our accuser. He goes before God and accuses us of basing on what we have done. Now, if you have already told God, confess that, Father, I slept with this woman and this and this. That's step one. Same to a man. He has to confess this and this. From there, the person who's taking you through the marriage process or the health process, he must take you through the stage I'll be sharing at the end of this topic, because we shall deal with marriage. Then after marriage, I'll be teaching about other things in bloodline. I'm telling you, if you win the issues of bloodline, nations will hear you. You will begin to control wealth. The easiest way witches access men, even ministers of God, it begins with bloodline. If you read the book of Matthew chapter 1, the first chapter, the Bible is talking about the lineage of Jesus. Why should the Bible talk about the lineage of Jesus? Yet he's a son of God, yes. And through him we are called the sons of God. But we cannot ignore, the Bible has shown us clearly, the scriptures never ignored Joseph as the father of Jesus. The scripture never ignored that. So meaning, Jesus also knew and he had to deal with the foundation of the family. And that's why, when he was 12 years, Jesus began to deal with foundation. He was in the temple. That time he was supposed to be with his father, helping him to make some items, because his father was a carpenter. He was supposed to help him in carpentry. Now, issue of marriage. We have issue of homosexuality. Homosexuality, I cannot talk about that one. It's dangerous. And you know. And that's why something is going to, what is happening in Kenya today is a punishment, and more things are coming. I'm praying God one day it will come a man or a president or a chief justice who will come and say, we are taking this thing of homosexuality from the government, from our constitution. Look, our children can now, a man can just marry a man and no problem. A woman can just marry a woman, no problem. If even in a family, when you before you get married, you need to search those things. Maybe you are getting married to a woman who was involved in lesbianism, or who was raped, or involved in lesbianism in high school. All those things, they create altars. They create altar. Listen to me. They create altar. Now, when they create altar, they begin to fight you. They will not allow you to get married. Number two, they bring the punishment of God. Look at what's happening in Kenya since this thing was passed. Look at what's happening in Kenya. And more things are coming. More. Those who love God, who seek God genuinely, they shall be saved. Lot was not a good man, but because he feared God, he was saved. Those who will participate in this thing, some of them will just die early. And that's our prayer. If the government cannot take away that issues, we cannot fight the government. God will begin to strike the nation and you strike individual. But as a church, we are going to pray that God may preserve those who are not involved in that thing. Those who have integrity, those who value the marriage according to the creation of God. Those who are participating on those things, may God rise up. We are speaking to all. In fact, I'm speaking to all boundaries of the nation of Kenya. That anyone involved in that thing, may God rise up. Because we are in Kenya now, we cannot do anything. We cannot fight the government. It is now in the constitution, and it is our law. It is only God who can take over. And our prayer that God may do something in the near future. It may become a man or a woman who will change this thing. Or God might do something kwa watu hawa. Those people are participating in those things. They be known that God is alive to all boundaries of Kenya. So anytime they start like things, it brings a lot of problem in the life of people in the church, especially marriage is affected. When you marry a woman from a wrong background, there's a problem. So, but I will give you the solution today. When you talk about marriage, before you enter in any marriage, listen to me. Before you enter in any marriage,